center. I was too predictable. I need to make changes. I'm a good player. I'm a solid baseliner. I need to add to my game. I need to make changes. I need to get better. That's verbatim.
I think the whole world, when they see those two names lined up in the finals of the Slam, I mean, it's great for tennis. It's interesting to me, the lessons that I was trying to teach a few of the kids in the academy from this particular final. I said, people have a tough time taking their highs and their lows and kind of treating them the same, like the sign as you walk through the center court Wimbledon, victory and defeat. People, I feel that's really hard for people in this day and time. You back the clock up 12 months ago, and I was at the Open then too, and I remember sitting in Ash watching Alcaraz play a qualifier, and he was just a shadow of himself. Not much joy, very little outward desire, it looked like, to even be on the court at that time. The willpower to get back and have a great year this year and do everything he's done, and that was the resilience throughout the journey, because the journey is long. And then for Sinner, I said this with a group of kids and parents. If they lose match points in the finals of a tournament much smaller than the French Open, the whole wheel is reinvented. Typically, the process day in and day out has to change. The coach gets the grilling. There's a sports psychologist hired. There's all of these things that are made adjustments, and they persevere. Your words, start the course, stay the course. Well, they stay the course incredibly well, and that's a tribute to both of them in their own way. I didn't think the tennis was outstanding by any means, but there's never a guarantee on that. I do think Sinner had a horrible service day relative to him, potentially how he could have served or how he typically manages his serve through the match. But again, I think that the inability, you really saw it in the first set. I remember watching the first few games, and I thought to myself, boy, he's going to have to break his comfort zone and really step up and into the court and play some forward tennis. But I'm not sure he's capable of it completely. But great for the sport. The match, maybe didn't have the drama of the few of them that they played, but I was there from beginning to end on it, and I think it's just incredible to see what a class act Sinner is in his defeat. Still giving the speech that he gave, and I think Alcaraz, hats off to him. This rivalry reminds me of Federer and Nadal, and Fed dominating the world, but just not able to really own Nadal. So it'll be a good one. I'm anxious to see where it goes.
Here are a few thoughts. I told a group of coaches and players this morning, when the match is over, it's over. But, the on-court speech, when they hand out the trophy, you can at least go to the press interview, go to YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And wrote notes from Center. I was too predictable. I need to make changes. I'm a good player. I'm a solid baseliner. I need to add to my game. I need to make changes. I need to get better. That's verbatim. So powerful. Yeah, the forehand volley's got an extra segment. Alcaraz said they had studied the Wimbledon tape. The numbers were terrible for not just on the serving side at Wimbledon, but the net appearances were flip-flopped. Alcaraz camp took into consideration, Andy Fitzell mentioned that on a previous podcast, Dimitrov, and how the underspin backhand was very effective against Center. Center does have an extra segment on his forehand. People aren't pressing it, like say a great player, great personality, Francis Tiafoe. He's grown up in an era where people aren't really challenging him on the forehand side. Let's see you pass me down the line. Let's see you pass me cross court. And when you do it, I'll clap my hand to my racket and applauding your effort, but I'm coming right back in. A lot of kids don't have very good passing shots because they're never hitting passing shots. It's interesting to say he also said he needed to do a couple of things better on his serve. He didn't say exactly what, but so the forehand has an extra segment. It could be challenged. I do think that Alcaraz did that by being more aggressive. Still think that Ivan Osirets, Alcaraz 1 and Alcaraz 2, Alcaraz 1 who chooses to be aggressive. And granted, there's certainly some times to play the drop shot because people are just back ready to launch a forehand missile, and then you hit a drop shot, they're on their heels. And I do think and we call the drop shot, should hit it as an imitation shot. You're trying to bring them up to the net, get them off balance. They just push the ball back, and then you win from there. You don't win outright with a drop shot. And the drop shot actually goes much higher over the net than most people even think. But centers, it cost him he doesn't serve and volley, and his backhand volley is still a liability. I mean, Serena Williams is so great, but you think of the weakness. I mean, Serena, little palm up, a late contact point on the overhead, but such an amazing athlete. You know, who wins, the superior athlete with inferior skills or the superior tennis player with inferior athletic skills? So, you know, a lot of times the physical specimen, the competitor wins. So once again, winning is confusing. Yeah, but I do think, to go back to the drawing board, to listen, everybody and their brother has a podcast now, and to hear that the resource for helping center on the serve is watching Isner. What a compliment to Isner. Does have a great serve. But you would think there'd just be a little more nuts and bolts on how to improve his serve. But so good. I mean, and he is just what he said. I mean, predictable, solid baseliner. He also said about Alcaraz, he can do everything. And then Alcaraz was asked about his own game. He said, from a very, very young age, variety. You know, he says it like 3 or 4 times. It's pretty easy to pick up because of just the way he pronounces the word in his second language. But I think that Alcaraz has really been a copy of Federer's game, Nadal's game, and Djokovic's game all in one. And then what Novak said about Alcaraz, he said he has the best of all of the three, including himself. He said fundamentals are foundation for me, finesse from Federer, and mental toughness from Nadal.